All right, so first what you're gonna wanna do is you're gonna wanna take out, I call this like a little coin storage, whatever, this little bin. You're gonna take that out. Then you're gonna pop this little square piece around the gearbox. And just pop that, that'll come right out like that. You're also gonna wanna pop this little front plastic tray out, because under there are two little screws on each side that you're gonna wanna take out, so we can lift this whole piece out. Put those screws somewhere safe aside. So you should be able to just go in between here and pop this up. Oh yeah, there we go. That one. And then right there. So the clips are really back far as you can go into here. So just try to pry it close to there if you can. And then that should pop out. Take that whole piece off. Alright, so originally in the first diagnosis, we did just have to take this little tray out, and that exposed this little pink lever here. If we were able to push that in and get your gear out of park into drive, then it wouldn't have necessarily been the transmission shift interlock lever, but we were not able to do that. So the transmission shift interlock lever, you can't see it right now, it's not fully exposed, but it's right under here, and we'll get to that in a second. All right, so this little white piece here is connected to a braided wire that actually goes back into here into the transmission shift interlock lever. So right now my car's in park, my foot's on the brake, and we can't actually get out of park. So the little trick, if you guys haven't seen the other video, I can do it with my finger. It is a little bit of a pain in the ass, but I have this pen here, and if we basically come right down in here and push that wire, that braided wire out towards the passenger side, then we are actually able to take it out of park. And that shows right then and there that it is the shift interlock lever. So let's put this back into park. All right, so there's gonna be 4 number 10 bolts, 1 in each corner of this gearbox, that we need to just take up so we could pull this gearbox out. And if you have anything magnetic, I would try to use that if you have something, just so you don't lose that bolt. Alright, so these back 2 are actually a little deeper than the fronts. So instead of using what I used before, I got this nice little Craftsman screwdriver with a 10mm attachment, and that actually works pretty good. So we're going to take these last back 2 out. Look at that, and that's magnetic anyways. Oh. Playing a game of Operation. And that's the last one. So now, before just ripping this out, there are a few things we have to disconnect quick. Alright, so we have to first unhook the 2 cables, one to this white piece, and then the other to the actual shift lever. So this white one, we're going to take a pair of these just needle nose pliers just to hold this piece. And then there's a little white clip. I'm sorry if you can't see this well. There's a little white clip here that we're just going to push out, and then we should be able to just pull this white piece up. Hopefully. Oh yeah. That's out? Yep. And then you're going to pull that cable right here, and then you can just put this to the side for now so it's out of your way as best as it can be. That's fine. And then now for the onto the actual shift lever. It was a little tough, but it's off. Alright, so as you can see, this piece is now off. Alright, so now to get this little black clip out, you're going to need something that's, I'm just using like a little Allen key. You're going to need something that's just really tiny, because there's a tiny little hole in here that you're just going to push into the hole. It's going to release that clip. If I can get it. It's going to release that clip, and then you should be able to just, sorry for the camera, pop that out and you should be able to pull that entire piece out. Alright, so before we can actually pull this out, there is still one little clip that's basically on this side and here. So it's like a little white threaded clip that you're just going to want to push away from, knock that out, and then we should be able to pull this piece out and up. So I finally got this piece popped out. It was a pain in the ass because this back piece kept hitting up against this brace. So I got this finally all the way out, but there are two electrical connectors in which you need to disconnect. There's a black one, and then a white one. And then you have your whole gearbox out, and we'll take this to the table to do the rest. Alright, so here's the gearbox assembly, and if you can see inside this pink piece, that is the transmission shift interlock lever, in which we'll be changing today. So I went to my dealership and got the VIN specific piece. So here's the brand new piece, and on the other piece, the pink piece inside there that's broken, it's actually this part that is broken, where the spring goes in. So this is now a more reinforced part. Alright, so there are 3 tabs on here in which we need to pop out. So there's one right here, one in the front, and then another one on this side. And that will come right up. Alright, so just to make some more room so we can get inside to that interlock lever, we're going to push that pink piece in, and then that other pink piece on this side. I'm going to push that in at the same time. You should be able to bring that down into drive so we can lift that up more. And there is the piece that we will be changing today. So if you just pop this piece out, and then you could see the piece where the spring's supposed to go around right here was broken on this side. So that's exactly the piece that we needed to change out. So when we put this new white one back in, we're going to put this down on the shaft, and in between, if you could see, in between these 2 pieces in that little slot right there. Just so when you move, so it's able to move from park to drive. Alright, so now we're going to put this new spring back onto the front. This little piece down low. And then we're going to get some needle nose pliers. Right like that. So it has tension and work like the way it should be. Alright, so one way to tell that you installed this correctly is you can see right now that this won't get out of park. So this little pink lever pushing this in is just like if you put your foot down on the brake. So we're going to push this lever in, and we're able to engage it down into drive and then back up into park. So that just shows that the part is engaged, and now we're able to throw this back into the car just like we took it out. Alright, so first we're going to put the electrical connectors back in. White goes into white, and black goes into black. Okay, now just tug on those, make sure that they're in. Then we're gonna push this down. This part may be a pain in the ass to get these back into those bottom threads. Let's see. Alright, so let me first start off by saying what a frickin' pain in the ass it was to get this thing back and in. I finally got this back on the studs. I just have to put these 2 pieces back in, the 2 braided cable, the braided cable, and then this onto the actual interlock lever, and then I could bolt these back down and we should be good. All right, so since I got everything else in, the whole gearbox is now secured down by those 4 10mm bolts. Now the last thing I didn't put in was this white piece with the cable on it. So we're going to hook this in. It's going to be really hard to see on camera. All right, so sorry I wasn't able to get a real, not even a view at all. So anyway, you had to put that cable into the little hook on the interlock lever and then pull the white piece back and push it back down to clip in on that black housing. So everything's on now. Everything's good to go. Let's just start up the car and see if everything's good, just because you don't want to put everything back on and you can't get out of park. Alright, so this is the test of it all. Did we do good? Oh yeah. And we're moving. Hell yeah. Alright, now we're going to park the car again. Make sure everything's good. Let's put it in reverse. And yeah, problem solved. The Charger is now fixed. Hell yeah. Beautiful. I hope you guys were able to hear me with that AC that just came on. Alright, so now the last part. We're going to adjust it back up nice. And put this piece back on. I'm going to clip it back down and in. Just like that. We're going to take these 2 screws from before, put them back down in this little, align it with this tray. Screw it back down and in. I can't tell you how much of a bitch this ashtray was, this whole install. I wish I could have just ripped it all the way out. Then we're going to put this nice little back in there the right way. We're going to put the little coin tray back in. And then this piece, just make sure you put the side with the 3 evenly spaced clips on the right side, pushed in, and we're all set to go. Alright guys, so as you can see, the installation was a success. I no longer have to use that little pencil trick to get my car from park down into drive. As far as the installation, it did go pretty smooth. I'm not going to lie though, it was a royal pain in the ass to get that gearbox back down and in and seated after we took it out to change the transmission shift interlock lever. If you guys have any questions or comments, feel free to drop that below. Thank you guys for tuning in. Please hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care.